responsibly.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon on assignment in Chicago.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. I feel like you're a beat reporter for Chicago steakhouses, right?
That'd be a pretty good beat, wouldn't it?
Where else you going?
Starting at cut.
It would be.
You know, I would go to Vets, but Vets never has a table available. They say call us back in 6 months, so to hell with them. There's a new place on North LaSalle. I don't even know the name of it yet, but I'm gonna have to check it out with Cut. I started Cut.
I think you'll be getting free meals at all of these places. Now that you expose that other joint, they're gonna invite you back. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Notre Dame faces backlash, Joe Burrow isn't having fun, and Booger McFarland joins us for 5 good minutes. But we begin today with the stunning news from yesterday that the University of Michigan has fired their football coach, Sharpe Moore, for cause. It was described as, quote, an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, unquote. Moore was later arrested yesterday in alleged assault and spent the night in jail. We don't know any more than this, but we are a sports show and we will deal with the immediate concerns of Michigan football. Wilbon, where does Michigan go from here?
Tony, they go as quickly as they can into the front of the line if they can get there, where you have to hire a football coach. I have personal experience, and I know of at least one youngster who has been contacted already by the other school in that conference that sort of matters in football terms more than any other, just to say, hey, just checking in on you, just checking in to see how you're doing. And so, Tony, there's going to be poaching, and there ought to be. There's going to be a rush to the portal. There's going to be Michigan having to rush to the portal, both maybe to block their own current players from running into it and to snatch players out of it and to look around and say, what do we do now that other schools in the conference and beyond are coming after our recruits and kids? So you've got all that going on, which means you got to hire a coach. If you got to hire a coach that you think is going to keep you in the mix in these times that are very expensive. The profile of these coaches is incredible. Where do they start and where do they end up?
So this, of course, is an absolutely stunning story. It looked like Sharpe Moore was a pretty good football coach. I think he was 8-5 the first year. He went up to 9-3 this year, but he's done. I'm not sure he will ever get a big-time head coaching job in college again. I'm not certain of that. I was so surprised this morning, Mike, when I watched the shows, and so many people, there was, not only did they quickly say this, but they almost unanimously said this, go after Kalen DeBoer.
I know.
Michigan should go after Kalen DeBoer. And because he's a Midwesterner and because there's very little patience with coaching in Alabama. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, wait a second, this is Alabama. Do you leave Alabama quite that quickly? And not only that, they're in the college football playoff. They play. They also talked, I'm going to go for a while here, they also talked about the Iowa State guy who's going to Penn State. And I found that interesting because I have to admit, if I was choosing between Penn State and Michigan, I would choose Michigan. And this guy hasn't coached a game yet. He probably hasn't brought his stuff there yet. He could just say to the movers, we're going to stop going east, we're going to go north, take a left at the light. You know, but it seemed to me, Mike, that everyone was in play, and my ultimate dream would be if Kalen DeBoer took the job, left to go to Michigan, and then Lane Kiffin told LSU, no, I'm going to Alabama. I'm going to Alabama.
Tony,
and I think they got to get a guy soon.
Well, the situation with DeBoer seems to be this. Do you jump before you are possibly pushed? That's what that is. Like, if he loses 3 games next year, they're going to want to fire him.
Yes.
And then you say, damn it, I could have had the Michigan job. And he's got some history in the state of Michigan. Wow, it's a wow. And I guess they may get who they want, but maybe not. Maybe somebody says no. Let's move to the backlash down the road just a bit, down 94 at Notre Dame. Yahoo reports that some conference athletic directors, are threatening to freeze out the Irish when it comes to future scheduling. This comes in response to a Ross Dellinger report that Notre Dame has a memorandum of understanding with the playoff committee that grants Notre Dame an automatic spot in the playoff if it is ranked in the top 12 starting next year. Tone, do you think other schools would really freeze out Notre Dame?
I'll be really quick to that one. No, I don't. I mean, I really don't, because a game with Notre Dame is a financial bonanza. I mean, nobody writes on TV.
If it's at your place, if it's at your place, not if it's at Notre Dame.
You work a deal. You work a deal where you get some of the benefits of that. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think as soon as they are contractually able to do this, Notre Dame will leave the ACC and go to your conference, the Big Ten, where I think they will be welcomed with open arms. They may even think about starting a conference with schools of similar academic and athletic excellence, because every network would bid on that, from NBC to Netflix. I want to get to this memorandum, though. This is amazing to me, that the committee would do that they would say Notre Dame can get in if they're in the top 12. They don't guarantee Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State that. Tulane got in this year because they won a conference championship. This says Notre Dame just gets in. I find that amazing, and the only thing I can think of is that other colleges think of Notre Dame as the Dallas Cowboys, and they have to have them.
Yeah, in terms of the memo, I'll wait till I get a copy of that, and I see a copy of that from Pablo maybe. I'll wait until then. Tony, I do think other schools, remember, Notre Dame is not just football, and I know that carries the lion's share of the leverage, but there are other schools out there. I don't know how many other programs, other sports programs, there are Title IX implications. What are there, maybe between 19 and 25 other sports where you have to schedule? And I do know this, that there are other commissioners and other athletic directors who are tired of Notre Dame. And I don't know about freezing them out. That does seem a little extreme, but leverage. Yeah. And you mentioned, you said yourself just now, okay, well, you can, work out a deal. You work out a deal when you have some leverage. And you say to Notre Dame, we can get rid of you. We're tired of you. Go somewhere else. All you do is come out and threaten us anyway, no matter how much goodwill is shown to you during your time. You wear out your welcome and you'll say anything to anyone. Why do we need that? So I think there are some people, not everybody, who will tell Notre Dame where to shove it. I think there are.
Well, if this memorandum is true, the committee didn't tell them that. The committee said, please stay here and we're going to give you a special dispensation that nobody else gets. Nobody. Let's go to pro football now. Joe Burrow said yesterday, quote, if I want to keep doing this, I want to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot. If it's not fun, then what am I doing it for, unquote. Wilbon, yesterday on this show, I said, I think Burrow's the best quarterback in football. And you said he's just a passer, and you had him behind Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, if not more people. You compared him to Kenny Anderson. What do you make of Burrow's comments?
They were whiny. They're just whiny. It's okay, and maybe they're just honest. It's fine. I'm not saying he shouldn't express these thoughts. I'm just saying how they sounded to me. A lot of quarterbacks get sacked a lot more than him. I never heard Archie Manning whine. Maybe that's because people didn't have, round-the-clock podcasts when Archie Manning was playing. My own quarterback in Chicago right here got sacked 68 times last year. I didn't hear him whining. I don't want to hear the whining when you make $50 million and when you arrange it so that your guys, your wide receivers, the three of you get paid about $300 million, more than that, maybe a total of like $500 million, and you neglect the other side of the ball, which has to play in order for you to win the games and have more fun. So you made your bed, so lie right there in it, and I don't particularly care, as great as he is as a passer, I don't want to hear the whining.
I think he's a great quarterback. I think he gets hit a lot. Much more than the average quarterback. And I think that, his offensive line has failed him and his defense is non-existent. And I think it's possible he could end up like Andrew Luck and he could just walk away early. And this happens. Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson got tired of losing and they walked away from the Lions. Maybe Burrow doesn't want to keep losing 40.